Hello, hello, hello. How are we all? Yep. It's Carabao Cup time and we're back. God help us all. I tell you what, it's Wednesday night. It's freezing in Cardiff. And I'm doing this. I should be in bed. My teddy bear. My teddy bear. Hugsies, isn't it? But that was it. I can't remember. In any case, enough of that nonsense. How are we all? We all okay? Look who's in the box. Joshua Page, straight in there, number one. Thunder Road, Pat Brady, MJL, J-Rob, Daryl Kane. Daryl Kane, none of your nonsense this week. I'm watching you. You git. You know what you did. Ida Marvin's there. Oh, look, Carlito Alguna's there. Who else? J-Rob, Blokey 73, Hypno Showed. Lord Hillwood's there. Hello. Hello, Stevie boy. How's it going? Thomas from Norway. Hello, everyone. Welcome to ABW Live. Yes, it's Wednesday night. Tired, enough. But quite enjoyed the game. So let's get on with it, is it? Guess who's with me tonight? Say hello, Dan.
Hello, Jason.
How are you, mate?
I tried to say something stupid, but I've got a poorly tongue. I bit myself, didn't I? I was doing a I showed you how I did it. I was doing a Harry Kane impersonation, and I bit my tongue, and then sent you a lot of video of my bleeding tongue.
You sounded like him as well. Honestly, you idiot. Well done, well done. Also, we have my brother from another mother. It's John Welsh. How are you, John?
I'm very good, Jace. I like the fact that you confused Danny by saying hello, Danny, because he genuinely paused and he went hello, Jace, and he had to think about what he was saying. So we got off to a perfect start. It's probably freezing. It might be freezing in Wales, but can we just comment on what Danny's wearing? Have you got a snood on and a woolly hat?
Oh yeah, don't fuck around. In case it kicks off, I've been outside nicking sweeties off children. They won't know who it was.
I tell you what, I'm looking at the box here. I'm not sure if it's Meady or Maid. Fatanmi has already got in there with the tappy. I'm fantastic. I love this place. I tell you what, Gordon Bennett. We don't get paid for it, but it's a lot of fun.
So I'm wearing it because I have a little bit of arthritis in that side of my neck, and this keeps my neck really warm, and then it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I don't care.
No, I didn't think you did, but the listeners do. Hello, listeners. I love you all.
Oh, God help us. Right, let's get on to it. And tell you what, I'm going to start with you, actually, Dan. Lineups. Genko. Yes. The banter years are back.
Oh.
Plegrozelo. AMN making his return. And check. Come on, talk to me.
Yeah, it was. Well, I was thinking, what do I expect from a game like this? I expect a few things. First of all, an absolute hammering of the other team. That didn't happen. Then I want players that have been injured coming back to get some 90 minutes, which Petr Cech did. And who else on there was coming back? Emil Smith-Rowe. He's only played 68 minutes for the under-23s. No, that was Maitland-Niles, not Emil Smith-Rowe. And then also I want to see players that aren't playing in the first team very much getting some game time, which that's going to apply to Lichtsteiner, Ramsey, probably Welbeck, and then players trying to get their form back, like Mkhitaryan, and that was a failure. And then the other important thing, the thing I love about the League Cup, is young players coming through. That'd be Julio Unpronounceable, Carl Jenkinson, because he's a kid inside. We all know he's only about 12, and Emil Death Row and Maitland-Niles and Guendouzi as well. Yeah, I was pretty happy with it. It ticked most of those boxes. So yeah, I'm happy with it.
Sweet. What I wasn't happy with is the first half, John. To be fair to Blackpool, they've got to play 10 men behind the ball, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know too much about them. I didn't even know they were in League One, to be honest. So I messaged our mutual friend Ross, as he knows about the lower leagues, and tell me a bit about them, and said, basically, don't worry. I think they had like 7 draws and a loss in their last 8 games. So their problems with scoring goals. They didn't really threaten that much. I don't blame them for the way they played. And we kind of played into it a little bit because I thought we were quite slow in moving the ball. There wasn't a ton of movement. I was a bit disappointed with how little Maitland-Niles in particular saw the ball in the first half. He was moving about a lot and trying to get on it and making good runs and stuff, but no one was really finding him. Smith Rowe was a little bit more involved, but I just thought Guendouzi and Ramsey could have upped the pace a little, and Mkhitaryan as well. Just you expect a little bit more from the senior players in these sort of games, to guide the youngsters through and let them shine. But I didn't think there was enough of that in the first half.
Yeah, we seemed sluggish. The early part of the game, Dan, they had a chance. Delfonso had a chance, snuffed out by Guendouzi. Mkhitaryan giving the ball away deep in his own half. We just weren't at the races, were we? Was that down to movement or just, as John says, the senior players not setting the tempo?
Yeah, I think, like John said, it is going to be the senior players. Sometimes, as a first team regular all season, the likes of Mustafi, Ramsey should be in our starting 11 most of the time, and Mkhitaryan has been most of the season. They're probably thinking, "Oh, why am I playing in this against a middle of the table Division 3 team? And I don't want to be playing here. I want to be at home with my feet up. There's other players that can play here." But this is the time that you have got to show your seniority in the club and go out there and help guide through these other players. How did you lot become where you are? I mean, when Ramsey first joined the club and he was playing in the League Cup, and Jack Wilshere playing in the League Cup for when he made his first few appearances, as did Fabregas. This is how some of our best players have come through, and the light of Emile Smith-Rowe has been fantastic this season in the League Cup. Every chance he's had, I think he's shone. But there are a few players out there in the first half that just didn't really do it. But I did notice, we're not coming to the second half yet, but talking to the players that I was impressed with, Carl Jenkinson, I think he covered every position apart from goal. And he wasn't even being greedy, was he? He was brilliant. Didn't someone say in one of our groups that banter is back? The banter era is back. I love that.
I don't know. I'm not sure if we mentioned this in the last show, but somebody turned. Well, I think it was Neil Chimp. He turned and he said, "Oh, Jenkinson, he's like one of the fans who won a raffle and got to play. Fantastic, you lucky. You got to love him. You got to remember this guy's got an England cap.
62 games for Arsenal. He's been there since 2011. He only needs to hold on for 3 more years, and he's got his testimonial.
Well, it's one of those things, isn't it? You look at it. I'm amazed he's still there, to be fair to him, but he keeps on going. You got to respect the guy. You got to respect him. John, Welbs had a chance, header well defended. Mkhitaryan had a shot deflected. And for some reason, the referee gave a goal kick. I wasn't very impressed with Mr. Kuhn today. He didn't seem to have the greatest games. The first Guendouzi foul, because we all know what happened. Silly challenge. Why does he make it?
I'm not sure, really. I guess with everything we say about Guendouzi, it's a negative at the moment. It's going to be an age thing and just sort of decision making. A more experienced player doesn't make those kind of mistakes generally. Anyway, there are some obviously, but something he needs to get out of his game, because whenever I do see him play at the moment, he does make. I like his attitude and the temperament and that running that he's got in him, and he's closing down. That's fantastic, that side of it. But he has to know when to pull out of challenges, when to make them, what position on the pitch you're in at the time, kind of having a picture of what's around you. And I don't think he does that enough. And it leads to some of the rashness in those tackles he makes. And just sometimes I don't mind a snide foul or a tackle. He did it in the last game, like the 92nd minute or something, and just pulled a guy down the halfway line. Like that's a good foul to make. That's a good yellow card to take in that kind of position. But it's when he does it when he doesn't need to, because there's guys behind him, and and the ball's not really going anywhere. It's not really a threat. That's his issue at the moment. As you say, he's what, 19?
Yeah.
He's still got a lot to learn. It's frustrating though, because I think in the case of today's game, because of that first yellow, obviously we'll come on to the second one later, but it ended up making the last, I don't know, at least 20 minutes of the last half hour of the game more difficult than they needed to be.
I suppose the learning process for him, it's the first, I'm not sure, no, is it the first game he's played against lower league clubs? They're going to be more physical. They're going to get
actually. He might have played did he play the other round? I can't remember.
Oh, no, can I? Head's gone.
I'll look it up.
It was a bit of a shame, but when I saw it, I just thought, oh, you donkey! There's no need for that one. That was silly. But you know, the game at that point was very frustrating, you know, and I can understand you're 19. If if you're not going to be a dickhead when you're 19, you're never, then more fool you. It's the perfect age to do it. I was a massive plonker at 19. Not much has changed. So in any case, we're going to skip all the boring parts because it was painful.
Oh, good night then, Jason. Thank you very much for watching, everyone.
Let's get on to the goal, the Lichtsteiner goal. And in all fairness, okay, I enjoyed this so much. I mean, it must be the longest goal drought in the history of football, I know he's got 12 goals for Juve when he starts, but Guendouzi tries to bend one in, and it ends up being quite a beautiful assist. Danny, talk me through it.
Well, not what the assist or the actual goal, because I only remember the actual goal, because I was thinking that is like an exact cut and paste of him clearing a corner when it's at his end. He's gone, ball's coming in, everybody chuck at the ball, chuck whatever limb you got at the ball. Oh, we've cleared it. He cleared the ball into the net, and it's fantastic. And I think he needed a hand up after that, because he hasn't, some of those muscles, some of those tendons, he hasn't stretched since he was in his 20s. Poor old boy. I'm just trying to look for the last time that he scored a goal. Didn't he score one for us already this season?
No, I don't think so.
I know he hasn't.
No, he hasn't. No,
he hasn't. No, he hasn't.
There we go. The last time he scored a goal was 2016-17 with Juve. He scored one, but every season before that, he got 2, 3, or 4. He's a goal machine.
That run that he makes in that move is very reminiscent of the sort of thing he did when he was playing regularly at Juve. The fact is that he had Pirlo in the team who could pick him out from anywhere, so it was worth making the run. It's just whether Pirlo bothered to pass to him or someone else. So he's good at the way he attacks and stuff. Is generally his finishing isn't always the best, but he got hold of it really well and put it in the corner, and it's a good tidy finish. I still think he is slightly limited in what he offers the team, but this is the sort of game that's perfect for him, where he hasn't got to do too much. Even if he came up against someone with pace tonight, I think the difference is it's going to be a younger kid who he can sort of bully about a bit and school and, win free kicks off easy and stuff and con him and that kind of thing. And he can just play a sort of nice, tidy, neat game. The worry is that we're having to play him when in previous games where we clearly didn't particularly want, or Emery didn't look like he wanted to, but didn't have a choice. Yeah. And then you've got Cole Jenkinson at left back. I just hope it means that Nacho and Kolasinac, one of the two, is definitely fit for Liverpool, because that is a worry. The fullback positions in general at the moment are a little bit of a concern for me.
We're stretched, aren't we? We're unlucky with injuries. It's just the way
you can't. Yeah, you can't do anything about getting your two first choice left backs basically getting injured at the same time. There's nothing about it. And then obviously
your two first choice left backs.
Oh, you know what I mean. It's a tie between the two, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's really not.
Jace, that's our 6th player we've played at left back in 15 games.
To be fair, he did better than Xhaka. He offers more than Xhaka, to be fair, because Xhaka's not mobile enough.
Xhaka's not a fullback for a start. It's
not exactly. Yeah, no, that's the point.
Defensive midfielder. I just remember that goal, Jace. I just remembered. I don't know how I remembered it. John said Pirlo, and I was imagining wonderful balls flying over, and that was what Guendouzi did, didn't he? He was middle of the park, lofted it all the way over, pinpoint, and then Lichtsteiner knocked it in. That was a wonderful ball from Guendouzi. What a wonderful player!
That was a shot. I was listening.
Was it a shot?
Yeah, I had a stream going, and what's his name? French striker, played for us. Went up to. No. Around that time.
Will Todd.
Got a really Mockney accent.
Oh,
Ali Adier.
Yeah. Ali Adier was co-commentating. I was like, he had a shot there. I can't believe it. It turned out to be the perfect assist. It was fantastic.
Well, the stream I was watching, they decided not to bother giving any commentary in the second half. I think he was having his sandwiches.
Corey Austin's in there with Ali Adier. I think there's only one stream available, mate, to be honest with you.
Oh, no, I found about 4. Most of them are rubbish.
A quick shout out. Will Crichton, hello to the Lebanon. Hope you're doing okay. And Yvonne Nikofa. She's not very well. She got a bit of a cold. Get well soon, Yvonne. We miss you. See you after the Liverpool game. Kind of the rest of the first half then, John, it's kind of spilled out. Ramsey had an effort, a nice bit of interplay from the team, and it just goes over. A nice bit of movement. And that was the first half. Other than the goal, it was thoroughly unforgettable, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't the best. Again, very slow paced. We didn't make too many clear-cut chances. I thought that Welbeck did okay and tried to stretch him when he got a chance and was holding the ball up fairly well. But the final ball wasn't coming off, and they had so many men back, it was difficult to make it through. The one thing that disappointed me was, they gave us a lot of space. Like, they weren't really pressing us or anything, and you had a good couple of yards of space, and we just didn't really do anything with it. And I think you saw how the team, when it doesn't have anyone to really run at the opposition, it does lack a little bit. So, Jenkinson was probably the only guy, and maybe Smith Rowe did it like once or twice in that first half. And Jenkinson was the only one really willing to run at Blackpool players and try and get past them and stuff. So you see we suffer there. But I think the other thing, Jovi mentioned it in the chat, the senior players, I think a lot of them have probably got one eye on Liverpool and are hoping to get into that game. And this kind of felt a little bit tonight of a case of we don't really need to get out of second gear, to use the old cliche, just sort of cruise through the game, get the result, because everyone's mind is kind of looking at the Liverpool game.
The one thing I felt our movement was poor as a team, and a bit like it was on Sunday. Sunday it was. I don't think our movement is particularly great as a team. I think there'd be one making a good run, and then that would be it. A bit of incoming news. We have the Scum at home next round, the quarter-final against the Scum. Interesting times. I bet you have to look forward to that one, aren't we?
Well, tonight they played quite a few of their first team that they had Lorente up front, so he didn't score. But they played Dele Alli coming back from injury, and I think they played a few others. So they are taking it kind of seriously.
It's going to make it spicy, isn't it? I don't think Death Row Records is going to be starting that one.
Why?
It's Derby, isn't it? When was the last? I'm sure the last time we played these guys in the Carabao Cup.
Don't talk about it.
Matt Flam scored an absolute screamer. He scored a brace, didn't he? And
he scored that absolute rocket from outside the box, didn't he? We'd been slating him for about 10 games in a row, saying how useless he was.
I've never slated Matt Flam. Never. I love Matt Flam. Never. No, I wouldn't. I think Matt Flam gave us everything. I loved Matt Flam. But and then the way fans smashed up the toilets.
Yeah.
Nice.
That is 17th of... Oh, so it's the week of the 17th of December, the quarterfinals.
Oh, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh.
December's going to be spicy. Yeah.
Oh, the last time we played them, Jace, was in September 2015 at their place. We beat them 2-1. And then that was in the League Cup. And the time before that, God, it was ages ago. I thought it was more recent. We beat them 4-1 as well. I thought they beat Five Past us once. God, that was 2008.
Yes, 10 years ago, Dan.
Hell.
I thought one thing, actually, Jace, from the first half and the game overall, but I noticed heavily in the first half. Did you find it a bit weird that it was Mkhitaryan playing on the left and not through the middle? And Maitland-Niles was seemingly on the right-hand side at times, and it was Smith Rowe through the middle, sort of interchanging with Ramsey, taking up that position. I just thought Mkhitaryan's best position is clearly at 10, I think. And the younger guys generally, they're pacier and they're a bit more attacking and inclined to run at people. I just thought they would have been better served wide. I know it's hindsight, obviously.
Yeah, but it's one of those things. Arsene always used to put the youngsters out wide so they could learn about the game. I do think that Emery is trying things as he goes along, and he's probably told them, look, interchange. Mkhitaryan struggled to get on the ball, especially with Blackpool being so deep, and our movement. I think the one thing, if you're going to interchange players, and even if you've got one old head and a couple of youngsters, it's confusing for players. Do you know what I mean? It's all this chopping and changing. You know, you can have a go at these guys as much as you want, but you know, if you're in midfield, if you're Guendouzi, if you're Ramsey, if you're Torriere, it doesn't matter who you are. You like to know where players make their runs to. You know, what channels are they going to go down? There's, you know, you need that familiarity. Obviously, this is a team that hasn't played together before with this personnel. You know, I know we've got enough old heads in there, but that familiarity is not there yet. And again, you know, how many games are we into Emery's tenure?
15.
It's 15 games. You know, we're still learning.
Yeah.
Like the Palace game, we're still learning as we go along. On to the second half, and when my stream came back, I think somebody at the Emirates has taken the mickey. They were playing Thriller. What the hell was gone there? Yeah. Wasn't very impressed with that. But the first half started off with a bang, didn't it, Dan? Jenks, you know, we started off, we went for the jugular, we went for the throat again, as we have done this season. And not long into the second half, we get the second goal. And who's the one who's the catalyst for it? Corporal Jenks.
Wonderful, wonderful Jenks. And I think he had a panic attack when he got down. He went, what do I do with it? Do I clear it? What am I going to do? And he tried to banana kick it, tried to do a Carlos at Le Tournois back in the olden days, in black and white times. And I had to watch that replay. So luckily I was in the kitchen having tomato soup, but someone put a short video of it on. I watched it 5 or 6 times. So he's run down the left-hand side. I think he's done a 1-2 with, was it Welbeck? Possibly playing out wide. And then I thought, who's 25? Because it wasn't HD, so you couldn't see. So I went, it's only bloody Jenkins. And so he's run down, he's panicked, he's tried to cross it. And as he's tried to cross it, the goalkeeper's come up, got a finger to it, pushed it out a little bit wider. And then Smith Rowe's gone, thank you very much. One more for my career, making me look like an absolute legend at an early age. Wonderful. And Jenkinson should just retire now because end it on a high, because that was magnificent.
Yeah, John, was that a shot or a cross from Jenks? I wasn't sure.
That was a really bad cross that thankfully a very bad goalkeeper flapped at. And it fell perfectly for Smith Rowe, who it kind of missed it anyway, but he got the goal, and I'm just happy for the kid because he does look a real talent. But no, that is an awful cross, and I don't know what the goalkeeper's doing with it. He
went full Armenia, didn't he?
I thought he was going for near post and he scuffed it. You know, I'm just saying.
Look, if he gets the assist for it, great, because it's another stat on his Arsenal career, and it's I don't particularly want Jenkinson at the club, but I don't wish him any ill will or whatever. You know, he's doing what I would absolutely love to be doing. So yeah, good luck to the lad, and until he does finally go in his contract, his money's given out to someone else. But yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, look, whatever people want to say about Jenks, okay, he's got 60+ Arsenal appearances. He's got an England cap, and he's probably set for life. Good for him. You know, I think his effort, you know, it shows everything about him. He'll keep on going up and down that touchline all game for you. And yeah, look, you know, is he maybe the caliber we want? No, maybe not. But, you know, he's got the effort we want.
See what Steve's put in the chat box. Waiting for Jenko injury on the 25th of December and it lasting the whole January window so you can't get rid of him again. I love the Corporal. He's brilliant.
He's superb. And he does a great job on the pitch. He mows that thing beautifully. You know, he's fab. He's fab.
He's better than any of us. That's all we can say.
Damn right. Right. Danny, get another tweet out, please. Right, there's 160 of you watching this thing at the moment, and I got 43 likes.
It's disgusting, Jace.
You know, well, we have to go through this every single time. What's the problem? Laundry's right. Tappy. Let's get going. Come on. I want 70 likes now, please. Come on. It's bloody Wednesday night, okay? It's 10:20. I should be in bed by now. I'm up at 5:30 in the morning. Oh, don't you start. You know, poor John's losing the will to live here. You know, we're talking nonsense, and poor John's got to put up with this.
All these grey hairs. It's all that lot. That's where it's come from.
Hey, our subscribers getting in there. Thank you, mate. Much appreciated. Come on, let's go. We're 14 shy. Tappy. Let's get going. In any case, I'm back onto the game. Then Blackpool get back into it a little bit. You know, they get a chance with a corner from a corner. He hits the crossbar. Check nowhere near it, Dan. Nowhere near it. The warning signs were there, weren't they?
Yeah, it reminded me a little bit like, you know, back in your youth when you wanted something from the top cupboard where you keep your biscuits, you'd have just jumped up there and got them. And then as the years go by, it's more reaching. And then at your age now, Jace, just like Petr Cech, you're going to have to stand on something to go and get it. So unless someone's willing to get down on all fours, Petr isn't going to be out. I say Petr. I think it's Peter. Steve pronounces it Peter, so I'm going to say it. Peter is he's not going to be able to reach for those long ones. I know that he's been out injured, and I think maybe we've seen that comparing his performance tonight and the next one, which I'm not going to ruin for anybody who hasn't seen the game, but that the performances that Leno has put in compared to what Cech has put in on his comeback. That's for me. Petr Cech is going to be number 2 for the rest of his time there, because you can't keep doing things. In fact, I wasn't even looking at it. I was thinking I was doing a tweet, and I heard on my stream he scored. I bet someone's headed that.
We're not talking about a goal at the moment.
We're talking
about the warning shot from when he hit the crossbar.
Don't know. I didn't see that. I only saw the goal.
Bloody charming. Do you see what I'm going to put up with?
Why did you let me go on for nearly an hour talking about it when he? I suppose it could apply to both then, Jace. My answer to that time that it wasn't a goal was he couldn't reach it.
I'm losing the will to live, listeners. I'm losing the will to live.
I think what Danny is trying to say, Jace, is that the one thing that you would have said before this game, the difference between Leno and Cech, is that you were more assured of Cech dealing with corners and crosses because he looked more confident coming from, and Leno looked a bit shaky. Whereas tonight, Cech actually looked very suspicious from crosses, which has been one of his strong points. And it was a little bit worrying. And I think the other signal that being selected tonight showed that he is now number 2 and Leno is number 1 in the team in the pecking order.
Jace, from now on, just forward my questions too, John. Thank you. That's exactly what I meant, but I didn't take an hour. John didn't take an hour to say it.
I'll CC him in every time. Ashraf, thank you. Right, guys, we're 4 short of my 70 likes. Let's get going. Come on. Let's go. Now, tap. Let's go. Oh, Jesus. Honestly, I don't know what's going on here. My neighbour's going to play hell over this. Mustafi has a miss from a corner, John. Probably should have hit the target, but, you know, we looked like we were on top. We got over the little shock from them hitting the crossbar. And then Guendouzi, the second yellow. Harsh or justified? Let me know your thoughts.
No, I thought it was fair. It was kind of a totting up process. He'd made some other fouls in the game, like pointless ones. He'd complained at the referee quite a few times as well about stuff that he didn't really have to whinge about. Again, it's sort of 50-50 because we've complained in the past that we never really got round the ref and tried to influence decisions, and other teams have done that to us. But he doesn't need to make the foul. It's the guy goes down fairly easy, but if you put your arm around a player and tug on his shirt, even in the slightest bit, they're going to go down. Look, he doesn't need to make that foul. We're 2-0 up. We're cruising.
The one thing, he doesn't grab the shirt. He just puts his arm around him. He's kind of asking for it.
Yeah.
But he doesn't do much to get the second yellow, does he? I got to be honest. I
just think it's a totting up. I think it's a totting up process. He doesn't. The main thing is he doesn't need to do that. He doesn't need to put his arm around the player in that way because it's like it goes back to like the Xhaka thing with the people saying it was a dive from Zaha. You don't need to put your leg out like that because then you're just inviting the referee to make a decision. If you put your arm around the player like that and then it comes back across quickly, it looks like you've tugged on his shirt, whether you have or not. The referee, you've given him an option. He doesn't need to make the foul. He's got the defence behind him. The guy's not like breaking into the box or anything like that. We're 2-0 up. We're fairly comfortable in the game. The only threats they really posed to us was from set pieces. So, you know, again, it's an age thing. It's silly. He has got this habit sometimes of dwelling on the ball a little bit too long. And some of his decision making in terms of his fouls is off. I like the fact that he makes cynical fouls. I absolutely love that. I think that's brilliant, and he's done it in some games where he's done exactly the right thing. But yeah, that was just stupid tonight. And the only issue I have with it is that it invites unnecessary pressure on the team when in a game where, let's be honest, if it just carried on 11v11 for the rest of it, we probably would have seen out 2-0 quite comfortable. Wouldn't have had a lot to talk about. So I guess in that sense, he's given us a favor. He's done us a favor.
He did. Oh, look, I mean, he's 19, okay? He's got a lovely skill set on him, okay? He's learning at the moment. We know that.
Hair.
Yeah, the jump from sort of Ligue 1 to the Premier League is
well, not even Ligue 1, is it?
But he was Ligue 2,
yeah.
I mean, that's not good enough to call a feeder league,
He should know better. I mean, it's a massive learning curve. How many players have come in at that age? He had, I think, a handful of games for Lorient in Ligue 1, and then they got relegated because Lorient are shit and Caen aren't. And then he played a load of games there. He played for their reserve teams and their B teams, and then come straight to Arsenal and make your debut at the beginning of the season, playing all of the competition we've played at that age. And it is a massive learning curve. And most things like that, most players, it would break them. But he should realise, like the captain or someone should have come up to him and gone, look, you are quite hot-headed. You're on a yellow card. This referee is taking no shit. The linesman is blind, who can't see when it should be a corner and when it is, and you need to make sure that you're not going to get do anything stupid to get another yellow.
But, but to be fair, Chris said when he joined, he's got a temperament issues.
Like
there was a bit of nonsense at Lorient, but. Again, he's flamboyant. He wants to stick up for himself. He wants to do well for himself. It's just a poor decision, isn't it? I don't think
that he learns it in a game like this than in an important game.
Yeah. Look, I felt it was soft, but he's kind of asking for sticking his arm out there. All of a sudden, then Dan, we take AMN off. A decent comeback, I thought. Not a highlight, but he's gone through the motions. He's doing the things which are going to bring him back to full fitness. Torreira comes on, and before we know it, I'm going to come back to you on this, Dan.
Okay.
O'Connor scores for Blackpool from a corner. Do you want to regurgitate what you said earlier on?
Czech couldn't reach it. If you start piling up bodies, 1, then 2, and then 3, so we can step up them and reach them. But yeah, like I was saying, I was tweeting, and then I heard they scored, and then I thought, I bet that's going to be from a header. And then I turned it over, and the bloke was jogging backwards, touching his head, and I thought, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. He has been brilliant in his career, but that reminded me so much of why we were so awful last season, and that reminded me of how good that Leno is, because Leno will bloody 2-fist punch that out the way, and it won't mess around and make sure that he score. So it is a bit of a shame, but I mean, he's had a good innings, hasn't he? I mean, what's Petter now? Oh God, what's Czech now? I think I'm not going to give up saying his first name. Was he 35, 36? He ain't going to complain too much, is he?
He's had a hell of a career. That's the greatest. That's the greatest goalkeeper in Premier League history, bar none.
Well, you're not far wrong.
No, I'm not, and I hate the fact he did it with the Chavs, but he's what a career! What a career! 36. In all fairness, John, the defense didn't really help him. There was no pressure on him for the header. We were at 6s and 7s, weren't we?
Yeah, and this has been a constant this season. It's the one sort of gripe I've got with Emery. Is that he hasn't sorted out the defending from set pieces. I haven't seen really any improvement from that. I thought fair play Pleguezuelo did quite well actually tonight at the back, and obviously we'll come on to individual performances later. But from set pieces, the organisation just doesn't seem to be there. We're sort of half zonal, half man marking, but there's people the wrong side of players. They can see the back of players' shirts. They're ball watching rather than watching where their man is. They're still discussing who's picking up who as the corner's being taken, things like that, so it's something that really needs to be addressed. And again, that's on the manager, obviously, because we've said it about Arsene Wenger, and I'll certainly say it about Emery as well. It's something he really, really needs to improve on, and we should have seen something done about this so far as well. But it is also on those senior players, Mustafi and Czech should be organising that defence. as well whilst they're out there on the pitch, and Lichtsteiner as well.
Well,
I'm not gonna put that on Plegazuelo or someone like that. He's a young kid.
In all fairness, now, okay, for somebody who came into the process of becoming the manager, with dossiers on all the players, he'll have watched the games, he'll have spoken about this to Ivan and Raul and Sven, etc. And yet we've done nothing about it. It is something we need to look at because, I think you're bang on the money. You have to use the same metric to measure the previous and current manager. Yes, he's only 15 games in, but this is one of the areas you thought it's a really easy win. It's a really easy win to come in and actually sort of, tighten that up. Just a little bit of coaching, you know?
It's very strange that that is still an issue with the team, and it surprises me that it's still an issue because he is such a detail-oriented guy, Emery. And the fact that those sort of issues seemingly haven't been addressed anyway. I'm sure they are doing stuff on the training ground. But the fact it's still happening,
but it doesn't look like it, does it?
Yeah,
it
doesn't
look like it is.
I can't imagine they're not doing some form of training on it. He's very, very detail-oriented. But
there's no evidence of it tonight, and you'd have thought you got Plegazuelo coming into the first team the first time of the season. You'd have thought we'd have been sharper on it because
I can understand.
There.
There might be a few, a little bit on the positioning might be off from like a Plegazuelo or Jenkinson, but Lichtsteiner, Mustafi, Cech, those kind of guys in the team. Ramsey, if he's coming back into the box defending, Torreira when he came on, the more experienced players who have been playing regularly, they should be leading the way and an example. And I really don't think that's showing through at the moment in tonight's game or any of the previous one. So that's my one gripe so far this season. It's the only one I've got, to be fair, which is fine. But that is still on the manager though to fix that.
And the thing is, O'Connor's a big lad, isn't he? He's a big lad.
And they'd already got a warning as well when he hit the crossbar before.
And this is the thing, you'd have thought we'd been putting pressure on him at some point. Okay, I know, we're a far shorter team than that guy is, but there was no pressure. That was disappointing. Moving on, Dan. Not long later, we get caught playing out from the back again.
Jesus.
Yeah, I did laugh when the offside flag went up. I just thought that was brilliant. How to crush a small team's dreams in just by raising your arm. It's fantastic. And Delfonso seemed a bit of a twat to me anyway. So, it's one of those where I was quite happy about it. But, the alarm bells were going off everywhere, weren't they?
Yeah, they said, first of all, I forgot, I did put in our little chat thing that was the first red card. First sending off for an Arsenal player under Emery, which is she should take a bow and get a t-shirt.
And he's banned for the Liverpool game as well. He's not available now.
Probably a good thing for us. Should get a game then, but yeah,
he's one of the go-to players to bring on, isn't he? In those centre two midfield positions. So that could be an issue.
But along with the not being able to jump up to get to deal with the headed ball, he's now vulnerable when it comes to diving to his left and his right. He's terrible at penalties, and then it's just shown yet again that when you give the ball back to Cech, we saw at the beginning of the season he really struggles playing with the ball with his feet, dribbling it around and doing stuff that comes naturally to Leno. That the first few games of the season, Cech wasn't able to do it, and then he showed in a couple of games he's looking all right. He's learning like he can do it. Because I remember saying you can't teach an old dog new tricks, and then it turns out you could. But that just showed tonight that he's reverted back to what he was at the beginning.
Right. In all fairness to him, Dan, he's had a fairly good season up to tonight. Okay, he's just come back from injury.
Yeah,
surely he's going to be a little bit rusty.
Oh yeah, rusty, but he's not been used to. He's had all this time off, and he's not been used to doing the two things that it seems that Emery wants from a goalkeeper: to be able to play the ball out with your feet from the back, and then be good at clearing the ball. And he's had those two chances and those two things, which is what we've noticed different with Leno from Cech. He hasn't done either of them. I'm not on his case or anything. I hope he stays at the club and he's got a wealth of talent. I just hope he doesn't do a Pat Jennings and go back to the club that made him famous. But I'd like to see him stay. He's still got a lot to offer and a lot for everyone to learn from. But it's just those two things have shown to me that, Leno's going to be, for me, the number one.
To be fair, I think Leno's earning the spot at the moment, isn't he? You know,
he's not just getting it because Czech is bad, but like you say, he's earning it. He's doing all the stuff that everybody wants.
No, that's fair comment. John Smith Rowe goes off for Iwobi. Aubameyang comes on for Welbeck, and you know we're back in the game. You know we've taken the initial shock of the sending off. We've weathered the storm. Start to get a bit of play. A few offsides go against us, but to be fair, Sean Massey got them all wrong. Richard Keys must be very unhappy about that at the moment.
I don't think she got them all wrong, to be fair. I think she got
all right.
right.
All right, sorry, all right.
All right, there we go.
All right, sorry, I do apologise. What am I on about? No, but she got them all right. They were all offside. So you know, Keys will be spit in. But then we have the O'Connor red card. Now I know we spoke about this in the group. We have slightly different opinions, but he's got no intention of going for the ball. You know, when Aubameyang came on, he must have thought, "Oh no, here we go. We got pace galore. They're coming to run at me." He's taking him out. No intention to go to the ball, and the foot's high. For me, it's straight red. Your thoughts?
I'm waiting for the abuse in chat now because I know it's coming. And to everyone who's listening later, who will then tweet me once they've listened to the show on iTunes or whatever, I thought it was a yellow card. I didn't think it was a red. I thought for the position he's on the pitch, I didn't think it was that nasty a tackle. I think Aubameyang made more of it than he needs to, which is fair enough. I don't have a problem with that. He's one of our players. Do it all you like. I'm not saying I'm upset about getting the red card. It's fine. I just didn't think it was a red. I thought it was a yellow card. If one of our players did it, I would have thought it was a yellow card. I thought it's just a professional foul. He knows he's going to get beat. He's not going to get back ahead of Aubameyang, so he's just brought him down. You know. There you go, Joshua Page. Standing with me and JH as well. Yeah. Oh, Jovi, no, I don't like you anymore.
I tell you what, we set them up. You boys knock them down. Thank you for that. Keep it on his case.
But yeah, no, I just thought, like, I get it, and like Steve said, you know, there was a scissor action in the tackle. You said his feet were a bit high. I don't think his feet were that high.
It was just under the knee. It was just, his foot was high. His foot was just under the knee.
I just think that he knows he's not going to get back, so he's just like, no, I'm just going to foul him, and I'm just going to bring him down. Which, if it's one of our players, I'd be like, yeah, that's fine. But I would have been annoyed if it was a red card. It's inside our half. It's not a dangerous tackle. That's not a proper leg breaker, is it? Come on.
Yeah, but he got lucky with that. He meant to break his leg. He had to go.
Look, this is new Blackpool. Charlie Adam doesn't play for them anymore. They're not as horrible as they used to be. They're a nice club now again.
No, they're not.
Nice.
The owners are scumbags.
Oh, the owner's a scumbag. The owner is a scumbag. The fans are nice. There we go.
Did you see Josh Daw in the crowd?
Yes, I did. Yeah, chat. If anyone, chat and anyone listening, Josh was in the crowd at the start of the game, and then I think they showed him again in the second half.
Oh, they showed him
wasn't there in the first half. With fucking hell.
Yeah,
they showed him
up north, hasn't he?
Top. Yeah, he's northern. He's northern now. Josh Daw was there celebrating the Blackpool goal in orange. Oh,
so hipster.
I know he's like the wind, isn't he? He changes like the wind. What can we say? We played the game out then. We created a couple of chances, didn't finish. You know, did you enjoy the game, John?
Second half was better. You know, it was much more enjoyable than the first half. I was disappointed that Nketiah didn't get to come on, and there's a question about that. You know, Maitland-Niles got a good 60 minutes under his belt, which is good coming back. Smith Rowe did okay as well. It's one of those games where I'm always a bit disappointed where you don't get to see a bit more of the youngsters and what they can do, because they're both very, very promising. I think Maitland-Niles was more about just getting the minutes, whereas you know, Smith Rowe, I think he's already got that fitness and match sharpness. So
yeah,
I would have liked to seen a little bit more from him. The senior players, they kind of went that we don't really need to. I think they had in the back of their head, we can up the tempo if we need to, if we're really struggling. But what I did enjoy actually was the last 5-10 minutes of the game, where we tried to break a couple of times. The right decisions were made on the offsides, but when we did get it, if we couldn't definitely get a scoring chance, we actually kept the ball in the corner, kept the ball ticking over. We didn't make a silly decision like we did in the Palace game and give the ball away, you know, and offer them another chance, and we just controlled the tempo of it. So some good intelligence and maybe a little bit of we've learned a lesson. Shame that Aubameyang had to come on in the game, but I kind of see Emery's point in it when we're down to 10-minute times before they get the sending off, isn't it? And it's, well, we're under a little bit of pressure, and if we do get a chance to break,
let's be
then
honest.
we can go score a goal.
Let's be honest. If you're a Blackpool centre half, okay, and you see Aubameyang coming on, you know, you're like a bunny in the headlights. You're thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen? That's just as much of a mental substitution as it is, you know, a goal scoring prowess substitution. Really...
I do think there was some tactics to it, because, you know, we were getting under a bit of pressure, and there was a space in behind because they were pushing on to us quite a lot. Because I know a lot of people are saying it's a risky, and I get it. It was risky substitution because he could have got an injury, but so you have to do that sometimes in games.
Well, he's the manager. This is his job. His job is on the line. You can say you're losing to Blackpool or drawing with Blackpool's not the end of the world. It's the knock-on effect. It's the domino effect. You know, it's easy to criticise the guy. He's won the game. We've had a man sent off, you know, early in the second half, and we still won the game. So, you know, I know it's only Blackpool, but I like what he's doing at the moment. You know, there's a few things I'm a bit disappointed in that he hasn't showed up. But, you know, you saw Torreira come on. I didn't think Torreira had a great game. They lost the ball a couple of times in silly positions. But towards the end of the game, you could see his efficiency of passing really settling down. And, you know, that sort of Uruguayan national side of him come out. And, you know, I think he's really effective then. He's really effective. He's got lovely quick feet, and his position on the pitch is very good.
You know, he's played every game this season, the only player to have done so. And I've just checked.
Has he?
Yeah.
Was that Torreira come on as a sub or started?
Yeah.
I think before tonight, is it before tonight Xhaka had as well, probably? I'm guessing.
Xhaka's missed a few. The next highest is...
He's played isn't he played like 65 Premier League games in a row or something ridiculous?
Well, Lacazette and Guendouzi and Ramsey and Aubameyang now are all on 13.
Oh, wow.
And
I think Torreira's, you know, I've said I'm not a fan of all this overhyping of him, but he's becoming a really integral part of this side, isn't he? Yeah. You know, I like what he's doing. I like how he goes about it. But you know, it's that side of him where he's just efficient in what he does, and I think that's it's a great attribute to have. He looks neat and tidy. He can be that bit of gel for us that we really need. Dan, your thoughts on the game? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I think I did. I was a little bit disappointed that we didn't go out there and have more of a slobber knocker. Czech disappointed me a little bit. I did hope for more for him, just for his own personal mental state, because I think he is someone who, if things are going well for him, then he's playing well. He's not one of those players that no matter what happens, he's going to go out there and have a great game. So with the young players that came on, played games, that was good. No one went off injured, which was really important. And it's good to see Corporal Jenkinson back running the game. And a goal for Lichtsteiner, which is always good because, he's people have been unsure about him, but it was a huge cheer. And when Guendouzi went off, the cheer he got from the crowd, that would make any player happy. So, yeah, lots of positives, no negatives, really.
Good. Yeah. Well, I did enjoy the first half, but I really enjoyed the second half. Yeah. It had a bit of everything, you know, so fantastic.
I think because we realised at 2-1, we better get a move on because this could get sticky.
Yeah, very much so. And as John said, I really enjoyed the latter part of the game where, you know, you can see Lichtsteiner and Iwobi, just telling Iwobi, like, back to me, let's keep the ball, you know? That sort of, that Italian influence coming into it, which, you know, we need to bring that into our game. We didn't have that under Arsene, unfortunately, but it's fantastic to see now. Okay, on to some questions then. John, I'm going to start with you. Daryl Kane asks, how would you feel if you had seen Auba coming on and you were a Blackpool defender? I know he did not do much, but the potential was there. Just look at O'Connor's face when he came on.
I'd be terrified because as a very, very bang average Sunday league footballer, an occasional Saturday league footballer, in my later years, I had to play centre-back because you start to go further and further back down the pitch.
I hear you were still good enough for Ligue 1.
PSG were interested. Oh, have you seen this geezers who play for them? Jesus. Anyway, I was not blessed with pace, and the most terrifying thing as a centre half is a striker with any pace. Because the moment you turn around and running towards your own goal, you know you're in trouble. So seeing him, just the fact that oh, not only can this bloke just run past me and I'm never going to catch him, he can also bang one in from 30 yards out in the top corner, because we've seen him do that as well. So yeah, it's petrifying. At the same time, it's probably also quite exciting for them. It's going to be one of the highlights of their career. They'll get to say, I got to play against Aubameyang as well. During the game, it would have been scary, but afterwards, they go, oh wow, I got to play against Aubameyang. It's probably like when someone in La Liga gets to play against Barcelona, and maybe they're lucky enough they get Messi's shirt. He's not that level of player, but it's still a real moment in your career. Yeah, I would have been bricking it, to be perfectly honest.
The boys from Goalkeeping FC play against Barcelona twice this season, don't they?
Oh, you mean Real Madrid, or?
Ooh, look, you've been all hipster there. You got the beard now, Dave. Still a bit shit, mind you. It needs to fill out a bit. What's going on there, mate? Dan, Seth Okaya asks, would you play Welbeck at left midfield and Iwobi on the right to counter Liverpool overloads on the wings?
What foot is Iwobi? I mean, yeah. Did you say Iwobi or Welbeck on the left wing?
Welbeck left, Iwobi right.
So I think no. There's too many. Those tend to have quiet games, and I don't really want to have a player who can have a quiet game. Iwobi showed in the last game that he isn't on it like he has been for some of the games he's played this season. I think it could well be with Iwobi that he's going to have to go back to being a substitute, because if you have too many quiet games, a lot of it depends on the service you get from midfield. I read out on the podcast last night all the stats from the pass percentage completion rate of the two centre backs and the two central midfielders, because that box is where we build all of our play from, whether it's going out wide, whether it's going through the middle, whether it's going long to either the outside forwards or whatever you're going to call them. So no, I'd stick with Lacazette up front, Aubameyang on the left, and on the right hand side, Mkhitaryan, just for the fact that they are experienced first team players with lots of international and Premier League experience or top league experience. I don't really think that's going to be a game for Welbeck or Iwobi. They're both players I'd like to see come on as a sub if we needed, but no, I'd go for our best and our most settled team up front, because as long as you've got the right people in the middle giving them the ball.
Okay, would you play 4-3-3 against Liverpool?
I would be tempted to go with three at the back, because we don't have any proper fullbacks. I don't really want to see Lichtsteiner being roasted by any one of the front three of Liverpool, and I don't really want to see Jenkinson turned inside out. And then after tonight's game, where he's played pretty well, I think if we could play a solid Socrates, Mustafi, and Holding, they're going to be pretty hard to get past all of them lot. So I think that's probably the safest thing to do, is go three at the back, three experienced players that are all fit and all doing their game. Anything where you're going to have a combination of Holding and Socrates is going to be brilliant. It's just who else you put with them, whether you let Gingerbeard go in there and potentially ruin it all.
Okay, we wait and see. John, Loki73 asks, is Mkhitaryan paying his keep? Good value for his wages, yes or no?
Right now, I don't think. I know you like him, Jason, some of his link play, but I'm not sure what he does half the time. That's what frustrates me. I know no one played amazing tonight, to be honest. No one was particularly superb, but sometimes his first touch isn't there, the final ball isn't there, or it's not quick enough. Shooting is off, and then you'll see another game where he'll score 2 goals or he'll get an assist and he'll make an amazing pass. It's very weird. He's just not consistent enough, and he's getting a big chunk of money. I just think you could do better with what we're paying him. You could pay someone else to do a better job.
Look, his movement off the ball worries me. When he's hot, this is the thing. When he came here, when everyone watched Dortmund, he was either on top of his game or he was nowhere to be seen.
Yeah,
and he's carried that through to United and to us. Apparently, if we renew his contract, we have to double his wages. He's nowhere near worth that. Nowhere near, not in a million years. Okay, but is it down to the manager to get him involved in the game more, or is it just down to him? Because if his movement's not good, then he's not going to get on the front foot. He's not going to be able to show his skills. So what's the solution to it?
It's down to the manager to try and get the most out of him. But Klopp did at Dortmund. Certainly, I think he got the most out of him. He was still a little bit, he could go cold sometimes, but he got the most consistency out of him. I think the thing is, if come the end of the season you still haven't seen, I'd like to see like 10 consistent games from Mkhitaryan, and I don't think I've ever seen him do that. So that's the issue, and you can't say it's like he's going to improve. He's 29. He's going to be 30 soon. January? He's going to be 30. So I don't know. I think if an offer came in for him, like in the summer, then I'd certainly consider letting him go and finding someone else. Because it's not I don't like the guy, because as you say, when he's on it, he's bang on and he's fantastic. He's one of the best in the league, but it's just not often enough.
Only 3 seasons ago at Dortmund, he played 60 games, 26 goals, 26 assists. And that's like, in his career there, he got a goal a goal and an assist every 3 games. Where at Arsenal, he's got 31 games, 4 goals, 9 assists.
I don't know if it's just moving to the UK. He's just not quite comfortable. The culture, whatever it is, something. He's not the same player that he was at Dortmund. That's for sure.
When even at Man United in his first season, 47 games, 16 goals, 7 assists.
Weren't most of those in Europe?
Hey?
Weren't most of those in Europe?
In the Europa League,
yeah. 6 and 11.
Yeah, when he first joined us last year, he had Player of the Month when he first arrived.
Hold on, this fucking website, Wikipedia, has included all of his international goals as well. You sneaky bloody French shitbags.
Okay, cheers, Dan.
Ignore everything I said.
Okay, but when he had Player of the Month, I thought he had 2 great performances that month, but there were 2 bang average ones, and you don't see it adding up. I think when he's on his game, he's fantastic. But we have to get more out of him. But there we are. Jove82 asks, when are those T-shirts going on general sale? Jove, I got a load of posts out at the moment, mate. We'll let you know. If you are interested in the T-shirts, let us know so we have some idea, okay? And we'll make a decision from there. At the moment, they're purely giveaways when we decide to give them away. There will be one being given away on Saturday after the Liverpool game. But at the moment, they're not going on general sale. But if you do want one, let us know so we have an idea, okay? Dan, what was the first... Asubscriber asks, thoughts on Nketiah not getting minutes? Should he have come on instead of Auba?
No, because as much as I do love Eddie, and everyone knows of my love of Eddie is magnificent. If Guendouzi wouldn't have got sent off, then there would have been no need to bring on Torreira. Is it Torreira or Torreira? Torreira. There's no need to bring on Lucas. And then not bringing on Lucas would have meant that we would have had one more substitution that we could have made. And that probably would have been maybe Willock or Nketiah. But when you're 2-1 down, you need someone on the pitch. I mean, we saw the clanger that Czech made. If that clanger would have gone in, then you would have needed someone like Aubameyang to possibly come on and be able to score the goal. Same with Iwobi. There was no need for Iwobi to play either. It was more because of the sending off and the situation that it was 2-1. You can't take a risk of going, rather than giving someone game time. But it's better to have someone on the pitch who, if you really need to, and you go all that attack, he's got a better chance of scoring. And I think all that Aubameyang did for the 15 minutes he was on was just gently jog around, which was probably the best thing to do. Go out there, be there if we need you, and if we don't need you, don't wear yourself out because you're playing at the weekend. You're probably one of our most important 3 players.
Okay. John Pete Colson asks, are we concerned that the new regime is basically talking of a future self-sustaining business model when we are about to post a £70 million loss? Doesn't look good for future transfer business.
Wow, that's a big question. I mean, the self-sustaining model from up to this point has done okay, to be fair. It's basically what we've been under. Ever since Kroenke is invested and we moved to the stadium. Essentially, we were obviously restricted a little bit for first 10 or so years, or maybe 8 years, just because of some of the debt we were repaying. I don't think it's necessarily a bad model. The problem is we're not going to know realistically from this point on are we self-sustaining, or are they putting money in, or anything else? Because it's all going to be closed doors now, isn't it? Because it's 100% owned by Kroenke. Look, I wish that the fans would have some input or some say, and I'd like to think that Kroenke would spend some of his own money or invest some money. I doubt that's going to happen. The one good piece of news that I did see today is that Per Mertesacker has got another position at the club other than just head of the academy. He's also being added to the executive board. So you have an actual footballer, or ex-footballer, I should say, who does clearly love the club. And I think Per was a fantastic captain, who's going to be involved in some of the decision-making to do with some of the finances and also transfers and that kind of thing. So that's one bit of good news. So at least it looks like they're putting the right kind of people in place. So you just have to kind of sit and hope, because there's nothing we can do about it.
No, it's going to be interesting, isn't it? You know, you look at the transfer business in the summer, and you look at the bargain signings in Guendouzi, in Socrates. You know, you look back at signing of Aubameyang. You know, Torreira coming in, which I still think is a pretty good value for what you're actually getting.
In the World Cup he had, after the World Cup, he could have gone for an extra 20 million.
Maybe so. We don't know, do we? But it's one of those things. One thing's for sure, we're not at the top table for transfers.
No, we're never going to be in a bidding war for an Mbappe or a Neymar or anything like that. That's just not going to happen.
Stadium.
You know, yeah, that is true. At least we've actually got a stadium to play in.
All paid for, really.
It's going to be interesting to see how it's managed, because obviously with the wage restrictions at the moment, you know, there's the Ramsey situation. We're going to come on to that in a second. You know, who are you going to replace these players with? Do you know what I mean? You know, what is the budget for wages, let alone transfers? You know, this is, you know, the marketplace. You know, we don't dictate the marketplace, and that's the big thing. So where we're going to shop is going to be interesting to see. That is going to be interesting. Yeah. And on to the Ramsey situation. Asap and Scrivo, no more bloody questions in that box, please. You're doing my head in now.
Yeah, shut up, twats.
No, you two. One of you two just put something in that box.
And sorry, you lot carry on. I just said it's been an hour, because you're going to be going.
All right.
I've got to make me sandwiches. I'm having tuna and onion like some kind of bloody French Renaissance sandwich maker. I thought that's not even a thing. Sorry.
No, you're an idiot. I love it. Subscribo asks, with Ramsey leaving and his wages being freed up, where would you target to strengthen? Well, I'll take this. What's he on at the moment? Is he on about 120k a week?
About 140, I think.
140, 150, I think.
140, 150.
Bless him.
Right. First of all, who are you going to target? Okay. What's the transfer budget for just the signing fee going to be? And then you're going to take the wages into account. I'm not sure what level of a replacement we're going to be looking at. It ain't going to be top table. Okay. Where, you know, the money coming in from new sponsorship deals, etc. We re-signed last season with Emirates. What financial year is that coming into? How does that affect FFP? I'm a bit concerned at the moment. I really am. You're letting a 40-50 million pound player walk through the door. You know, if we weren't going to keep him, why didn't we sell him in the summer? He sure as hell ain't going to sell him in the winter in this transfer window. So what's going to happen? It's going to be interesting to see.
But could it be yet another poker face move where we're doing it and he's doing it, and in the end he's going to sign and everyone's going to have a big hug and we're all going to get 3 Ramsey t-shirts?
Not according to news today.
I know.
Yeah, apparently the news today is, but you know, look, we saw plenty of headlines with Ozil, and you know, Ozil was headed to Turkey last season. So who knows? We're just going to have to wait and see. You know, I wouldn't like to second guess this. Nothing would surprise me. I could see him staying. If I was to put money on it, I'd probably put money on him staying. But then again, I'm not a gambler for a reason. So we'll wait and see. Dan, Josh,
not a gambler.
Not even a lover anymore, mate. I'm just gone. It's pathetic. Joshua Page asks, what has El Neni done to Unai? Has he shagged his wife?
He's injured. Oh, shit. Is that for John? I don't know.
That's for you.
Oh, he's injured.
Is he?
Yeah.
And then he's injured. There you
I'm
go.
only halfway through the podcast, Jace, but I did do it in the podcast last night. But if I quickly go to physio room, I read out what was up with him. Apart from having wonderful hair and a cheeky smile, and even though he doesn't play much, he's still one of my favourite players. It
They've
said
got a
that
thigh injury.
expected to return to full training in 2 weeks.
There you go. So that's another one on the injury table. Didn't we have this problem with Arsene?
We don't talk about Jace. We don't talk about Arsenal.
You know, how many players have got injured at the moment? It's ridiculous.
All of them.
My mistake, Chase. Ramsey's on 110 grand a week.
Yeah. So, you know, we're not going to get a lot of bang for our buck, are we? Let's be honest.
Oh, Kolasinac earns more money than him. What a joke. Sorry.
I thought you were saying more money than you. He was on a free, though, wasn't he? So
Yeah, I think that comes into it, doesn't it? That does come into it, to be fair.
With Death Row coming through, we don't need Ramsey, do we? You've got Death Row.
Oh,
He's got a better goal rating this season.
He's played 3 games.
He's got 2 goals, Jace. You need to
Fucking
smell
hell.
the coffee.
Sorry, mate. Yeah, here we go again.
Is that a football behind you?
Yeah.
Did some kids kick it in your back garden and you just stolen it and put it on eBay?
No. I've been meaning to give it to my niece, but there you go.
Oh.
Keep on
Do you
forgetting.
want me to sign it before you do?
No.
Okay.
That's dead air. Let's keep on going. We're nearly there. John, Michael Hahnemann asks, any of these players done good enough? Have any of these players done good enough for you in Europa League, in the league, Europa League, based on today?
You mean to feature in the league or the Europa League?
Yeah.
Based on today's. Not overly. I think. I thought Smith Rowe was good, and I think he should get some more opportunities now in the Europa League, especially as we've already gotten the 9 points and we're near enough through. So I'd like to see him play the remaining 3 games. Not sure he deserves a place in the league yet, like on the bench or anything. Maitland-Niles, I'd expect, would come in on the bench at some point in the league as well, and maybe get some more minutes just to get him back up to sharpness in the Europa League. But other than that, the rest of them, no, not really. I don't think.
To be fair,
Plegasvelo was okay, but he wasn't really tested, so it's tough to call on that. Maybe he gets a game, like the last Europa League game or something like that.
it's a bit of a no-win game today, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're playing 10 men down the ball a lot. As soon as the man gets sent off, everybody's at it. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
Yep.
It's one of those. Danny Jove82 asks, what do you make of the Ramsey news shortly before kickoff? Now, bearing in mind, as far as I'm aware, I thought news didn't come out of the club anymore. I thought we were leak-free nowadays. It's quite interesting, isn't it?
No, Ivan's left, isn't he? Those who know can speak again.
Yeah.
He leaves tomorrow, doesn't he? Much like my adult diaper, I no longer think that Arsenal is leak-free. I think we could have issues. So it's sad news if it's true. I don't want him to leave. I've been mean about him, but I think having a player like that in our team is essential because we can't afford to replace him, and whoever gets him is going to make their team better. Imagine him going to Chelsea or Liverpool or somewhere like that. They would snap him up. And there's a reason why they snap him up, because he is top quality. I don't want him to go. And hopefully it's nonsense. And hello, Jonas and Jonas Jr.
Yeah, Jonas Jr. is a cheeky chappy, isn't he?
He's
well
done, he's got a smile on him.
Yeah, nice work, son. Well done. It all seems. I wouldn't pay any much attention to it at the moment. I really.
Well, who tweeted it, or what was it? Was it from
Sky Sports?
Who?
Sky Sports. Sky Sports.
Shitbags. What do they know?
They
employ Paul Merson. I wouldn't even have him on here if we were playing in the bloody friendly. I'll say I wouldn't. It's up to you who we have on here, but
leave me out of it. Me out of it.
Fair enough.
Last one for tonight, and we'll all answer this one. Andrew Anglif asks. Andrew Do you want me to translate it into words? Andrew Angeli asks, sorry. Well, space it out properly, John, for crying out loud. I blame you.
Fucking part-time.
It's my bad. Sorry, Andrew. My bad.
Andrew, I apologise, okay? I'm tired. Not enough.
Technical issues.
Technical issues, yeah. Dyslexic again. Well, God knows. Andrew Angeli asks, if Bellerin isn't back for Liverpool, what is your back four for the game? John, you go first.
Pray and hope. No. God dear. Back four. I think I'd have Holding and Socrates as my centre halves. Oh, right. Are we going on the basis that one of Nacho or Kolasinac is available for the left back?
Give me an option.
Okay, if they're available, then I'm playing Lichtsteiner at right back. If neither of those two are available, because there's still no confirmation on that, as far as I know, then I'm gonna play Lichtsteiner at left back and Mustafi at right back.
Ooh.
Because honestly, you
play right
can't
back.
play Xhaka at left back. You just
No.
cannot play Xhaka at left back. No ways. That's absolutely ridiculous. Imagine, look, I know Salah, I call him the Egyptian Walcott, but he's still very quick and annoying. Look, everyone could rave on about all the goals he scored. Watch his first touch. It's terrible. That's how he tricks players. He got such a bad first touch. They're like, oh, what a brilliant piece of skill. He isn't. He's knocked it 10 yards because he can't control a ball. That's what he's done. Anyway, rant over.
Yeah, but wouldn't you love those goals?
I can't. No, I hate him. I absolutely hate him because he's such a scumbag as well. Because he's at Fiorentina and he's like, oh, I love the club, and then he buggered off and jumped around all over the place at Italy. No, I don't like him. Anyway, let's not get on a Salah rant. I hate him as much as I do that.
You sound like Chris on about Ligue.
Oh, that French git with a blonde hair. What's his name? He does the stupid celebration. I can't stand him either.
That little
Griezmann.
shit.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
what you're going to let him wander off about something that completely. I would never do that to you, James.
I know, Dan. I know.
But yeah, if we've actually got a left back, then yeah, I'll play Lichtsteiner. But I'd like to see Welbeck play ahead of him on the right hand side.
Okay. I mean, Dan, your opinion?
3 at the back. Nice and simple. Everybody knows what they're doing. We've done it. 2 of those would have been used to doing it last season.
You're mad. 3 at the back. Wing backs pushed up high, and then Liverpool's wingers got all the space to run into. Stretch our 3 centre halves, so you haven't got a clue what they're doing between them.
So many players out injured. We don't know. It's a few days yet. I mean, I do like the idea of Lichtsteiner at right back because you can rely on him. No one is a magnificent defender. No one's going to get past him. But it's having to have someone at left back. So who are we going to play at left back that isn't going to get turned out by those 3 nonces?
I think the one worry as well, okay, and the one, and this really worries me. Yeah, you got AMN who could play left back. He has done it for us, okay, if the injury crisis is that bad. You do have Jenks as an option, but, by God, that's...
No.
Well, look, he's played against them before and won against them. I know.
That's a very different Liverpool team. I'm putting Xhaka in ahead of Jenkins.
Mandingo's put why not Welbeck?
But you even when you look at Socrates, how many minutes has Socrates got in his belt? He's got the game, the Europa League last week, and that's it so far. So whatever you're going to bring in is going to be rusty. You're going to have rustiness in either centre back or left back. It's a bit of a worry. Let's hope Bellerin and Co are fit.
But
otherwise,
you have to play regardless of who's available at fullback. You have to play Welbeck one side, and I think you've got to play Iwobi on the left. I don't think you can play Lacazette and Aubameyang.
I got to be honest with you. I'd go 4-3-3. I wouldn't put Ozil in there. I simply think they're going to bully us in midfield. If there's only 2 in there, they'll target the 2. Yeah. I don't think Xhaka is nimble enough.
If he's with Torreira and another centre mid who can get around the pitch like a Ramsey, yeah.
If he's got an outlet, he's all right. But if it's just him and Torreira, no way in hell. They're going to get robbed. They're going to get turned over because that's what Liverpool do. They target that area, and then as soon as they spread that ball, that pace coming at you, between the link play of Firmino and the pace coming either side, I
want Welbeck and I want Iwobi because their work rate going backwards and how they help the fullbacks. I think we keep the shape much better and they're defensively so much more solid than if you have Mkhitaryan I don't want Aubameyang having to run back and chase down Mo Salah. Why have you spent £50 million on a striker to go and do that? It's not his job.
Combined with that, he's not disciplined enough.
No.
You know, let's be very honest. Aubameyang's not disciplined enough for this.
I'd rather bring him on from the bench at 60, 70 minutes after Lacazette has worked his arse off, you know, been battling all game for a tired Liverpool defence, and watch, you know, what's his name, Virgil van Dijk fall over his massive fat head.
Well, we wait and see.
He has got an oversized head, hasn't he, Van Dijk? It's not just me. His head looks giant for his body.
Oh, yeah, I can't comment on that, can I? For crying out loud.
You're the Welsh Maguire, aren't you?
Damn right I am. You know.
He's the Welsh Ospina. That neck's hiding under that t-shirt.
Hey, listen, yeah, I can't see your neck either, and it's not because of your shit beard. Oh God help us. Okay, we've now descended into oblivion. I don't know what the hell to say. Right, that's it for tonight. This week's podcast was out yesterday. I'm halfway through it. It's a really good listen. It's a really enjoyable listen. And I don't know, but I think Santa Claus has come early and he's given Ellis a personality.
No.
Ellis is owning it. Ellis is owning it. Ellis is like rocking the podcast this week. I'm in shock. He's unbelievable.
He was nervous because his missus was stood over him with a slow cooker. Whacking around the head with it.
Yeah, oh, poor Ellis.
I shouted him during the extras. No, there's part 2. I end up shouting him for making noises.
Oh, you're spoiling it now. Spoilers, bro.
Oh,
Spoilers.
Sorry.
Okay.
Ignore that.
Yeah, it's a really good listen, okay? Tune in, listen to it. It's a lot of fun. On this week's live show after the Liverpool game, it's myself, it's John, and it's Dom.
What's he Dom?
Yeah, mainly because that's the only views available. Crying out loud. Tell you what, bane of my life this is.
Never get a day off.
Never. I don't know what's going on, honestly. Have you got a violin? Start playing a violin behind me. Yeah, thank you for tuning in. To everybody in the chat box, as usual, you're fantastic. There's some really good banter there.
That's because Jenks was back.
That's because Jenks is back. The banter era's back. You can't knock it. I got 88 likes. Come on, 12 more, please. Let's go. We look forward to seeing you Saturday. For those of you listening on iTunes or any other platform, thank you for tuning in. Really, really appreciate it. Blackpool have been dispatched. On to the scum next. Well, we got the scum on Saturday, and we got the scum in the next round of the cup. It's interesting times. Take care. Good night. Keep it Arsenal. Danny, switch this thing off.